Denver 7 On Demand is brought to you by Ferguson and BAC Appliance Center, the best in bath, kitchen, and lighting for your home.
I'm Shannon Ogden with the latest from Denver 7. Blizzard warnings, strong winds and snow all across our state. And we are tracking every piece of it under this first alert action day. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson. Mike?
Shannon, it's going to be a rough night and early morning Tuesday as a strong storm moves across the area. Blizzard conditions from just east of Denver all the way to Kansas. Roads likely closed there in the morning. Snow covered and slippery in the mountains and still a bit slick to the north of Denver along I-25. The blizzard conditions will continue through midday on the far eastern plains. Later in the afternoon, things improve quite a bit, so the extended forecast looks a lot nicer. But early Tuesday, snow and wind and cold, 32 for a high, 43 Wednesday, flurries Thursday, not a major storm, and then milder for Friday, Saturday, Sunday before another chance of snow next Monday.
All right, thank you, Mike, and we'll be bringing you updates throughout the evening on air, on Facebook and Twitter, and on our Denver 7 app. Also, tomorrow we're going to start our coverage very early for you, 4 a.m. with teams across the Front Range, keeping an eye on your morning commute so you can get where you're going safely. Well, more people are moving to our Colorado, and that means more are going to need cell service, and that means more giant towers in and above our neighborhoods. As Denver 7's Connor Wist reports, the Fort Collins community, though, didn't know one was going up until the crews arrived.
Everybody who comes in this neighborhood, the very first thing they're going to see is a 100-foot tree.
The Fossil Lake Ranch neighborhood in Fort Collins is gaining a new neighbor. Those already living there aren't too pleased.
And it's the only thing we're going to see.
Todd Metcalf lives on this street next to where this new 100-foot T-Mobile cell phone tower is going up.
It's going to be right here.
Metcalf and his neighbors say they didn't know about the project until crews started work a few weeks ago.
And it's disappointing we were not made aware of that.
Because it is designed to be considered a stealth tower camouflaged with antennas hidden by fake branches, Larimer County was not required by law to notify neighbors during the approval process.
And that's where we're definitely not happy with how the process took place.
Neighbor Christine Holdsworth believes there are points in the land use application that weren't met in the process or misrepresented. She's also worried about health concerns for her family and impacts to home values.
There's a fear. Is this affecting the future of our children? Is this affecting the future of who will buy our home if it comes to a time when we need to leave?
Denver 7 covered the original need for more cell towers to meet the growing demand for service in Fort Collins in 2018. Just as city planner Clay Fricke told us,
they will be in the future, absolutely.
Now the future is here, and residents are hoping the county will give them a chance to voice their opinions about where the cell tower should ultimately go.
I think there's ample amount of time for all parties to meet and discuss the best path forward.
In Fort Collins, I'm Connor Wist, Denver 7.
We're now 24 hours away from the start of the second and final round of voting on the Denver teacher strike. So here's how it's going to work. 2/3 of voters must approve the strike. If the green light is given, the earliest teachers, school psychologists, and nurses could join the picket line is January 28th. That is next Monday. The state, though, could be asked to intervene in these negotiations about pay. But even if it does, there's no guarantee the strike will be stopped. So regardless of the vote, DPS says it fully intends to keep schools open by bringing in substitutes. Some parents we spoke with said they still will send their kids to school. Others say they're going to actually keep the kids home. One, maybe a bit of exaggeration, feared it would turn into a Lord of the Flies type situation. Old Man Winter was kind enough to stay away long enough to allow today's MLK Day Parade to go off without a hitch. Thousands marched in Denver from City Park to Civic Center Park. And many parents brought their children for an education in activism.
He wasn't afraid to stand up for what he believed in, and he's one of the biggest leaders that I know, because I can look up to him and not be afraid to be comfortable in my own skin.
He made freedom so no one can be rude to each other, or so no one can hit people.
There you go. The March and Parade has been going on now in Denver for 34 years. Several public figures, including Governor Jared Polis, Senator Michael Bennet, and Denver Mayor Michael Hancock also took part today. And while most were celebrating the life of Dr. King out there, others used those crowds to draw attention to their own message. Conservative activists set up a rally just across the street from the parade to protest Denver's proposed supervised drug injection site. Now, the goal of that project is to give addicts a safe place to shoot up. That rally, though, sparked so much controversy, the Denver Republican Party put out a statement saying they agree with the campaign's purpose, but feel, yes, it should have been held on a different day. A Colorado state lawmaker raised some eyebrows, turned some heads with a bizarre speech commemorating Dr. King's Day. Republican State Rep Lori Sain, who is white, was apparently angry that her colleague, who was white, was not chosen to introduce a resolution honoring Dr. King. But it's this moment that's got people scratching their heads.
We have come a long way on that arc since the Reconstruction, when whites and blacks alike were in nearly equal numbers lynched for the crime of being Republican.
What? No, whites and blacks were not equally lynched in the years following the Civil War. We reached out to State Rep Sain for comment late this afternoon, and at this hour are still waiting to hear back. All right, this has been your Denver 7 On Demand update. Thanks for watching. Check back. We'll have another one later for you tonight. And download the Denver 7 app for breaking news and alerts. I'm Shannon Ogden.